Hello, everyone. While being of service helps everyone. I mean, if it didn't, then the world would collapse. I mean, literally. So let's look at goods and services. So we have all these grocery stores. How do the grocery stores get the groceries? You have the trucks. You have the trucks. You have the truckers that drive many, many miles. You have the companies that hire the truckers, right? Now, if they did not drive those many, many miles due to their businesses, then how would these grocery stores get their food? But see, whoever the owners of the CDL companies to put the time in the work will lead to them getting contracts with these grocery stores, for example, led to them being able to be a service to, of course, themselves, then their employees, and then the employees to the business that they have partnership with. Now, there's been a discussion in the future, will CDL drivers be needed? And in my personal thoughts, they definitely will be. Some are saying that, hey, AI can take over and just put them out of commission. That's possible, but I think we're years and years away from that. It's just something about the human element of being able to correspond when something goes wrong in the partnership between that dynamic. I don't know if society will be willing and opening to change that. Though, from a business standpoint, if they go with AI, what could put it over the hump is that it will cut costs. But the byproduct of that will be a lot of people losing their jobs. But as it is in real time today, being a service is helping three separate groups. Like I said, it's helping the employees of the companies that own the CDL trucks. It's helping the owner that owns the company. Then it's also helping the businesses such as Target and Walmart. There's never a hiccup, and that's going on with most businesses in the world. If you don't have one party, then the whole business could collapse. Um, Something that everyone could relate to because it has happened before when X has crashed for a moment and there were individuals losing their mind wondering what was going on. But this is the thing. X has a team of employees. They're being a service to people. And in turn, the individuals that use X, they're being a service to X, which allows for communication. And as we can see from how people react once they crash different times, some people didn't know what to do. Another social media platform that it didn't crash, not to my recall, but I know some people can get locked out of it, a la Facebook jail with Facebook, right? Some people lose their mind, but even with that whole setup and dynamic, those that came up with Facebook had to write code and had to have some kind of vision. They're like, hey, we want our we want our Facebook to operate in a certain way, and if someone goes outside these lines, we're going to ban them for 30 days, 60 days. I'm assuming that's how long it is. I've never been in Facebook jail. But the thing is, that's a service. It's not a guarantee. So, but the service helps all parties. That's why, from what I read at times, people coming out of Facebook jail and they were mad. They were not mad, but they were kind of agitated. People was wondering where they went. And then you had the people in the comments saying, asking what they did. Sometimes people stated that they didn't do anything, that they just got put in Facebook jail, but there's a reason behind everything. Unless Facebook has a issue with the algorithm, and it's just putting people in Facebook jail for no reason. Um, and another way that being a service helps everyone, we can think of parents and kids. You have parents, they raise their kids. Their kids have certain values, but as they get older, they have their own experiences. They make their own choices, right? But as they go out into the world, most of the time, though they'll come up with their own ideals in their way that they want to operate, it will also tap into what was instilled with them. Something simple, like just treat people with kindness, um, always give respect, defend yourself if someone crosses your boundary, and just do what you're supposed to do. Like those are basic things that most individuals were raised on. And if they weren't raised on it, they learn about it. But all of those things are being of service to people. Because when you have that kind of take, when you were raised in that manner, you usually have a calm society. You don't have any foolishness or no shenanigans. You just have people just trying to make things happen. And another example of this would just be, I mean, any relationship from platonic to business. It's all being of service to people. Most people do not do things if they're not going to benefit. It may sound cruel. Wait for a moment. Okay, get over it. Because even people that start businesses, they're starting it to be a service, right? And their byproduct of being a service is making money. This is why some employees get agitated and say, hey, I'm not making a proper wage. But if the employee is using critical thinking and the employee knows anything about businesses, business owners do not start business for their employees to get rich. Never have, never will. Also, if they do a little more critical thinking, they will understand that, hey, if they want to make more money, they can continue to work the current job they have, get a side hustle, or start their own business. Be of service to people. Come up with a product. Give it a try. And if it don't work the first time, try again. But to think someone is going to pay you a certain wage so you can live the lifestyle that you want to live, that is ridiculous. And that's never going to happen. And even if you find a company paying you good money, they can let you go at any time because most states are an at-will state. So once again, being a service helps everyone. In this example that I just gave, the person's frustration with not making a certain wage, it can force him to reflect or force her to reflect and think about the company that they're working for, thinking about what they can do to be a service to people. And down the line, they can create a product, they can create a course, they can create a side hustle like drawing, drawing cartoon figures, or they can get into a business that already has the template, like working with the ride share apps. But even with them, you can do that. You're going to have to follow their guidelines, but you also can create an LLC. And the thing is that all of this is just being a service and helping everyone. We can just look at our own selves, right? Like what we eat, what we put in our body most days than not. We're being a service to ourselves, which allows us to be a service to our loved ones and our friends, and also towards our goals. But if, let's say, more days than not we were eating unhealthy, we would eventually over time deteriorate, and we would not be able to be a service to our friends, our loved ones, and mainly ourselves. And at the end of that road, if it continues to go like that, we will become a burden. And we all know the quiet little secret, which is nobody wants to be a burden. You don't ever want to be a burden. So that's just another way that we're being a service. And it's an amazing thing. Just know whatever you want to do in this world, it's all part of being a service. If you want to cause mayhem, which I do not condone, if you want to be violent, I do condone it at times because there's the times that you have to be violent. Any way it go, being a service does help everyone. I want to thank you all for watching my video. You all continue to have a great day, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.